Hi, welcome to Matt Holman Golf. Thought we'd have a look at Lydia Ko today. I've been taking lessons at the David Ledbetter Academy for about the last 10 years. I spend a lot of time just watching the guys teach there. And for about the last 5 years I speak every month to Sean Hogan that teaches Lydia Ko. So I thought I'd give you an insight into the areas they've been working on and some sort of Sean's beliefs in the golf swing and David's. So I think she's definitely adopted some of this sort of A-swing movement. I've spoken to Sean about the A-swing method, and like he said, it's an alternative way to play that will suit some golfers more than others. Interestingly, I haven't seen them teaching that style method to lots of players. I think what I really like with Ledbetter's teaching and how I've seen Sean teach is really adapting his methods to the player. I've seen him teach some players where he gets them sort of very toe hanging, open looking, many would say club face positions. I've seen him teach other guys where he's got the club face very strong in the backswing, laid off or across. So it's really varying. I mean, you can look at guys like Trevor Illman, who won the Masters, quite a laid off position. Maybe Ernie in his prime, very toe hanging. And I think that's really where I like their method. So I think we can start with Lydia on the right hand side, orthodox setup. One of the areas that they've really concentrated on is just this right hip here. It's making it a little bit more stable. She had this tendency there for it to sort of to sway a little bit too much. So you can see she's definitely got some sort of movement into that right leg. Something I've definitely worked on. So I know Sean David would like a sort of 1-2 inch bump into that right leg. Maybe we could say that's sort of maxed out there. They maybe would like to see fractionally less. She sets the club very well. She's adopted this nice sort of short arm swing, full wrist set, which is in David's method. And I think one of the big areas Sean talks to me a lot about is this transition, getting us this sort of forward diagonal. I know sort of with Michelle, Lydia, a lot of the ladies players they often talk about tend to sort of clear too aggressively off their left side. I think this is partly why we can go down from down that line. They've adopted this slightly across the line look at the top. So you're going to see this sort of hands in, club out look. She has this strong face look even with her driver. I know I've seen them teach this lots with players, especially with an iron. I think the hole on the drive we tend to see it a little bit more toe up. Sets the club great. And then she's just slightly more across. It's a short arm swing I love across the chest, left arm matching the shoulder plane. But I think they felt this slightly across the line movement. Her tendency from here was for her arms to very much shift out towards the ball with that left knee, left hip sort of clearing too aggressively, and she really felt, she hit this nice fade but struggled to hit a draw. So really what they worked from that slightly more across the line position is sort of a more forward, which you're going to see now in her hips, forward diagonal transition. So that left hip's clearing much slower than what we saw last season. She works much more into her sort of left transitional line. So due to that, her arms now move much more down than what we were seeing last season. And I think you'd see lots of players that have the shaft maybe in that slightly more left pointing position and the arms would move down. They just found for her she was able to achieve it a little easier, so the arms are definitely falling much more through the middle of her body. Her knees are a little more passive. And now from here, still a very aggressive clearing movement, but she can just swing slightly more from the inside and sort of not overly cut the ball and actually hit some draws when she wants to. So you're going to see the same now from face on. The left side's working a little slower, gives her a chance to really get her chest and head up to the ball, and she ends up in this position where all the great ball strikers are, through the left shoulder, left arm and club shaft. And now she's got less sort of stall than we saw last season. and then everything moves and turns through.